50s, still with a bit of a breeze too, and you guessed it, more rain on the way for our Friday. It'll be wet at times and cool too. Some of that rain could even linger into early Saturday morning before we dry things out for a mainly dry weekend as temperatures get back into the 60s. WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
From drag to circle track and road racing, Cook's Headers has helped set records and win races. Some of the biggest and most dominant names in NHRA, IHRA, NMCA, NMRA, NASCAR, SCCA, and NASA continue to run Cook's Headers and win championships. Want to take your car's performance and sound to the next level? For the past 60 years, Cook's has led the industry in delivering the quality, power, and sound your car needs. Visit cooksheaders.com to take your car's performance to the next level. Proud sponsor of Putting the Pieces Back Together.
The following is a paid program and does not necessarily reflect the views of WSIC.
Purple Heart Homes presents Putting the Pieces Back Together, a forum for veterans and the community to connect. Here are your hosts, veterans John Gallina and Brad Borders.
Well, good afternoon. How are thou? It's King James Thursday.
King James Thursday.
Yep, you have to say a thou or an art or a thee.
I did not know that.
Well, just go ahead and say one.
Well, I art not doing amazing.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome.
We did
Fantastic.
have a little panic situation right before the show.
Every portion of your life is panic. Every single minute of every single day, there's panic going on in your brain pan.
Mostly the panic comes from whether or not my pants are going to button in the morning.
Well, how'd that happen this morning? How'd that go for you?
I sucked in.
So I will tell everybody this. I'll tell everybody this. Every time Devin walks into my office at Purple Heart Homes, which is, by the way, Putting the Pieces Back Together, brought to you by Purple Heart Homes.
Oh, yes.
Every time Devin walks into my office, what happens to Devin when you walk into my office?
I
What do you have to
do 5 squats.
Not only just squats, but 5, what kind of squats?
The chalice squats? Is that the name of them?
Close. Goblet squats.
Goblet squats. I like chalice better. It sounds more regal.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Goblets are for kings.
Yeah. But,
Okay.
Isn't that kettlebell?
The purple one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have a purple kettlebell that Max Steel crafted for me at JC Steel.
No kidding.
Gave it to me and painted it purple.
Wow, that's a
and
custom
Devin,
one.
every day when he comes in my office and he's in panic mode, he gets to do 5 goblet squats. So
5 goblet
little does he know.
That calms him down.
Little does he know, I'm trying to help him.
You're
Calm
slowly
down.
adding lead weights to the bottom so it gets a little heavier every time.
I'm just building fast twitch muscles in your body, son. You are gonna be fit to fight.
Fit to fight.
Oh, did you hear that?
And that brings us
Segue.
to our guest.
Segway.
I see what you did there.
Today, we have Marine veteran Samantha Suttner.
You were struggling.
I was struggling.
Did you just forget her name right here? You just met her.
Devil dog.
Actually,
What are you doing?
The last name. So her last name changed, and so I was like, wait, new last name. What I got to figure that thing out before I say it out loud on the radio. And then y'all just pointed it out, like my whole struggle. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
So,
That's what we're here for.
yeah. Hey, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank
So
you.
good to see you. Sam is a longtime friend and former employees at Purple Heart Homes,
Yes.
and so we're and not only that, a recipient of Purple Heart Homes programming
Yes.
as well. So we'll
Back
get
in
into that.
2015.
That is hard to believe.
Ago.
Yeah,
Hey,
gosh, that's
Brad.
almost 10 years ago.
You're outnumbered.
I know, it's unfair.
That's
Of course, if you count Tammy, she is de facto Army. So
I
should
do-
keep it neutral.
I do typically tell
Scales
Brad
are
that he's
balanced.
outnumbered if there's one Marine in the room.
This
So,
is true.
But I would say this: is Samantha's always on my side.
well,
So
You know,
you can just take that for what it's
There
worth.
is the loyalty there.
not many people want to, throw down with Chap.
That's
he's,
right.
it's-
That's right. You could do
Yes.
some goblet squats if you do. It could happen.
We can do
I'll
those in
some
studio.
goblet squats. That's right.
Oh gosh.
So
I hope
there was
not.
a rumor, there was a vicious rumor going around, and that could happen on air live, that Samantha was going to put Devin in a chokehold. So stand by for that. That could
that's
happen.
happening.
I
that's
checked.
happening.
I checked with the insurance, and
What did they say?
yeah,
They
it's
said
not.
not a problem.
Liability.
They said it's not a problem.
They won't cover it. We're gonna, yeah. So I'm sorry about that.
Awesome.
Our listeners are gonna have to
So
just.
good. Well, Brother John is off on another secret mission, and he shall return in the next couple weeks. And so we really we miss him, man.
We do, yeah.
Miss him.
It's
a little verklempt here without seeing John.
I don't know what that word means, so I'm going to take it as a sign of disrespect.
No, it's not at all.
He's
Not
sad.
at all.
He's
Give
a
me
little
5
sad.
goblet squats. So, well, Samantha, it's wonderful to have you here, and if you would just kind of, we've got a few minutes till our first break in the show, and we'd love to hear. Just tell our listeners about, like where you grew up, and I can tell everybody, but I want you to tell everybody, and then what led you to join the military.
Okay. How did I get here?
How did you get here?
Born and raised in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Nice.
Did horrible in high school. So I was lost in the sauce about 2 years after high school, and I just got a wild hair up my butt one day, and I thought, hey, I'm going to be a police officer.
Okay.
Because I was failing out of college too.
Right.
So I went into the recruiter's office, or the program director over law enforcement in the college. He had a bunch of Marine Corps stuff on the wall, and I was like, what's that?
Yeah.
And
Globe and anchor.
he's like, let me tell you.
Oh.
And then next thing I know, I'm on the phone with the recruiter. And 5 minutes later,
That guy was a Marine.
he was a former Marine
Yeah.
Oh,
working
yeah.
in the college,
Yeah.
got me on the phone with a recruiter, and then I'm driving down the road.
Just drove straight to Paris Island.
Right.
Oh wow, that's yeah.
It took me 2 weeks. I raised my right hand.
No kidding.
I left 2 months later.
And you were gone.
And I
Yellow
never returned.
footprints?
Yellow
that
footprints.
happened super quick. It usually doesn't go
Very
quite that
fast.
quick.
Yes, I was like,
What year was this?
this was in 2009.
Okay.
I said, get me as close as you can to combat. So I became a truck driver.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
what
What vehicle were you driving?
when I was in Afghanistan,
Yeah.
7 tons, MRAPs,
Oh, yeah. Everything.
all the things.
All the things.
Just no tanks.
Yeah. With
And
wheels on them.
Yes, all things with wheels.
Yeah. Big, slow things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Plotting things like something out of Star Wars.
Yeah, so I can like drive and eat crayons at the
Yeah.
same time.
That's exactly right. That's awesome. Yeah. And so I'm pretty sure that while you were in Afghanistan, that you had an incident.
Yes.
Yes.
I had a few head injuries.
Yep.
And that 2013 was when April 21st, 2013, hit an IED, traumatic brain injury, multiple injuries sustained, and got back at the end of 2013 or near the end and left active duty and honorably. And I missed it so much, I joined the reserves
Yeah.
3 months later
I remember that.
and did another 5 years.
Yeah.
And, I absolutely love the Marine Corps. I would have been a lifer.
Yeah.
But
How many years total?
9.
So you're officially out now?
I am since
Okay.
2018.
So you were just like, it's with school and all the stuff you were involved in. It was just too
School
much.
and work and
Yeah.
yes, kids.
Kids. Yeah. Imagine that. Yeah.
Those
So
They take up a lot of
things.
time.
yes, my son's 9 now.
holy cow.
Yes, I
Oh
was
my
I was in
gosh.
college most of his life. I have
Yeah.
2 bachelor's degrees, spanned across 7 years.
Wait a minute.
And they
you-
say Marines aren't smart. She's got
Well,
2 degrees.
well, let's there's always exceptions to the rule.
Oh,
Right,
yeah.
so so are you working on your master's now?
So hopefully this fall I start Gardner Webb nurse practitioner program.
Okay,
That's
So
awesome.
that'll be about 3 years.
that is fantastic.
Yes, that's the plan.
That is super cool. So, guys, we were really excited you're here. And so, what was let's do that. Let's hold that for after the break. You're listening to Putting the Pieces Back Together with our guest today, Samantha Suttner. Samantha Jo. her
That
middle
was
name.
an early exit.
Sammy Jo.
He held up a
but-
minute.
Huh? I know. I've got a minute. I wasn't done yet.
Oh, okay.
You just you
I'm sorry
conveniently
to
interrupted.
think that you couldn't talk for a minute. I apologize.
Conveniently, that was helpful. That was a helpful distraction there, though, to eat up some more time. You know how they do like this? Now we've got 30 seconds. As we're, string it out just a little bit more. Keep it coming. Yeah. Hey,
Cue the
we're going to
music.
take a break. We're going to listen to a couple words from our sponsors. Devin's going to get his head back together and stop panicking so much. And we'll be back with Samantha. This is brought to you by Purple Heart Homes here on WSIC.
We'll be back with more of Putting the Pieces Back Together with your hosts, John Gallina and Brad Borders, after this short break on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
And we're back. So I'm sure that they told you while I was in panic mode that we are live during the Facebook breaks.
Yes.
If you need to drop one of those 7 words that you can't say on the radio,
Yes.
this is that time. So,
Just in case I need to get it out of my system.
yeah, absolutely. Like, whatever one you want.
Yeah.
So, Devin, why were you in panic mode?
What was? Oh, you want me to talk about why I was in panic? So I have a beautiful young daughter who is now a young woman officially as of yesterday.
So just turned 18.
Just turned 18, and her first full day as an adult, she ran out of gas.
Winner?
She just didn't
Question mark?
notice, right? It
What's
wasn't her
that?
fault. It wasn't her fault. She ran out of gas.
She says it says a quarter of a tank, and I was like, how do you know that you're out of gas if it's a quarter of a tank in there?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't believe her.
Hey, Coach.
I would say don't let it get below half a tank.
Yeah, there's something telling me that it's not sitting at a quarter of a tank. Otherwise, she wouldn't be so adamant that it's gas. But anyways, she's getting taken care of. Hey, thank you to our engineer here, Joe, for he called out the sheriff's department, called in favors, and we got people out there to take care of her. So I'm officially out of panic mode now.
I need to do a really big shout out to Ben Daniels. Ben Daniels has no idea what he's done. So my friend Shu, everybody knows Shu. So he's used to work at Purple Heart Homes. Now he's our quality control guy for our tiny home program with a different company. But Shu bought a Kentucky Fried Chicken sign, a giant Kentucky Fried Chicken sign, right? And so Shu and Rob and I for years. Oh, okay. All right, I'm going to have to come back. But just remember, at the next break, I'm going to talk about Kentucky Fried Chicken signs and Rob Harrell and Schumacher and Shu. It's going to be great. So we're going to pick back up here with Amanda here in a minute. And Amanda's joined us live from...
Amber.
Sorry. Gosh. Sorry. Amber from...
I respond to all A names.
Yeah.
All right.
Aaron. Okay.
Well,
Sure.
oh, man.
30 seconds. Where are you joining us from? Are you in like Kings Mountain area? Is that where y'all are?
Gastonia. I'm in our training center in Gastonia.
Yeah.
There used to be a skit on a radio program back in the 70s called Battlestar Gastonia.
Really?
Yeah, it was.
What?
Yeah, 10 seconds. We'll go into that later too.
I'm looking at Tammy. I think
Mike's
you're making
off.
stuff up.
Mike's off.
Main Street, Mooresville.
Now, back to Putting the Pieces Back Together with your hosts, John Gallina and Brad Borders, on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Welcome back to Putting the Pieces Back Together. We are live with our guests, Samantha Suttner, and our new guest joining us via Zoom, Amanda.
No, you didn't.
Amber Hoover. You know, I am just all over the place today. I've been given a note for those of you viewing instead of listening. The engineer gave me information to read, so I'm like, he's like, yeah.
Seems like you could have gotten that one right.
You think that I would be able to get the name Amber right by my beautiful bride's name is Amber.
Wow.
Yeah. So
it was Brad's fault.
But that's what's really going on here is there's only one Amber for me, so I had to
Switch it up.
Very nice.
Yeah.
It was a decent save.
Good save.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate
Decent.
that.
Yeah, Joe's clapping for you.
Well, let's get back to our guests
Yeah.
and away from my ignorance.
Of course, yeah. So, so Samantha was sharing with us, how she entered the Marine Corps and got injured in Afghanistan serving, and then went to school and got a couple of bachelor's degrees, but I'm interested to know, and I do know a little bit of the story, but I'd love for our listeners to hear is like transition was kind of weird, like.
Yes.
Yes, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we can extrapolate on that a little bit for us.
Transitioning from active duty to civilian life.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I was got off active duty and then quickly found out I was pregnant with my one and only biological child. I am a bonus mom to a 13-year-old daughter, and very blessed to still have her in my life, even after divorce. So, coming off of active duty very quickly after becoming injured, and then throw a pregnancy on top of it. First time mom, dealing with PTSD, did not transition well. And then there's a huge move to Bessemer City, North Carolina.
Yep.
And just a quick search of seeing if there's any resources out there for veterans, found Purple Heart Homes, and I was a recipient through one of their homeownership programs. I was able to purchase my very first home from it's a program designed to make homes affordable, 50% off the mortgage, and they could gather the community together to welcome my then husband and I and my family. And had I not had that fresh start and that welcoming transition, I don't know where I would be today.
Yeah.
It was the landmark of what just I felt put me on the right path.
That's not an uncommon reaction when we had a family from Arkansas stop in, and they called, was a Vietnam veteran, and his wife called and left one of our project managers a message saying that because they were just passing through town, and just because of the visit, and how her husband had changed just by hanging out with people that were concerned about him, and she said it's changed his life. We were all like, what did we do? We just like toured him around,
Right.
It's like it's just not used to people. I guess they just weren't used to people caring about them.
Right. And we've stayed connected after all of these years. And that's the Purple Heart Homes difference.
Yeah.
It's like
this
a
is
family
the way.
type organization.
Yeah.
It's not just hey, let's do this for you and forget about it.
Right.
Yeah.
So for the last 10 years, I've had that family connection away from family because, like I said, I'm from Wisconsin, and I was married for 10 years, and then kind of life came to a screeching halt in November of 2021, and my life was turned upside down, and had to sell the home we were living in, not the one through the Purple Heart Homes program. We did some transitioning, and was immediately a single mom, and I figured out very quickly for the first time that I had never been without my battle buddy as a civilian. And that was a really, really hard thing to realize. Like, I'm home alone with my child. I'm the only one keeping him safe and protected, and I couldn't sleep. And it did something to my self-confidence.
Yeah, you and Ben were in the Corps together.
Yes. Served alongside each other, served 2 combat tours together, in many ways was my best friend and, my battle buddy.
Yeah.
And to feel that sort of, betrayal and everything that we walk through our divorce and the reason for our divorce, it was very hard, to say the least. And
you had some. I mean, we talked on the phone during that time, obviously.
Yes.
But I just remember it was some pretty dark days for you.
Very.
Right around then.
Yes. Yeah. And, that kind of set me up to find Fit to Fight.
Yeah.
Throughout the 10 years, my sister-in-law, she had trained at Fit to Fight. And for 10 years, I heard this woman talk about Ryan Hoover and Fit to Fight and how it changed her life. And she would tell me about, Coach Amber, how she was a strong female presence in the gym. And I never in a million years thought that I would get to be there and get to train there and meet all these wonderful people that she spoke about. And it was and is the place where I have found that I can put my pieces back together.
That is fantastic.
That is
great
amazing.
segue, which
Yeah.
is perfect for bringing Amber in. And
Amber, not Amanda.
That's Amber, not Amanda. I am so
as we
sorry about
renamed
that.
her AA Ron.
AA Ron.
Yeah. So, Amber, tell us a little about. We got 5 minutes to break, so you're on here. Tell us a little bit about what Fit to Fight is and how you guys got started, and why does it help people so much?
Yeah. So Fit to Fight's been in the Gastonia, Charlotte area for the last 20 plus years. I wasn't here at the inception of it. I was training in Florida at the time. But I've been around for the last 13, 14 years now at this point. And while on the surface, we're a business, our goals are to provide a service to the people who come in. Ultimately, we're a community, we're a culture, we're a family, similar to how, Sam found a family with Purple Heart Homes. This is another location where, not to speak for her, but when you walk in and you walk through the door, we're doing what we can to bring you into the family and the community and the environment that we have here. So we run classes, everyone from 4-year-olds to 84-year-olds will be training here on the mat at the same time, from fitness to self-defense to kickboxing, jiu-jitsu, all of that going on with all people in all walks of life with all different backgrounds.
That is fantastic. Yeah. So what's your favorite discipline?
I get asked this a lot and it changes regularly. Jiu-jitsu right now. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy not getting punched in the face.
It's always good. It's always good. Yeah, always good. My son started doing Muay Thai. And so I decided, and we had a wonderful teacher here in Statesville, a guy named Rick Davis, who was a world champion and really dear friend, passed away a few years ago. But I remember I went in and I was just like, well, Jack, I'll do some classes too. So I was sparring with this guy named Butch. And Butch looked slow. He looked slow. I mean,
was he deceiver?
Butch was not slow.
With a name like Butch.
Butch, all he did was jab me in the face like one time, and the whole world went whoop, everything closed in, and then all I remember is Butch looking at me going, "You okay, man?"
Maybe he just rocked you one time.
No, he was like, he just taught. I mean, it was a jab, right? And he was like, whack, and then I was down. And he was like, man, maybe you ought to keep your hands up a little higher. Good idea. Good idea. Thanks, Butch. I appreciate that.
That's great.
Yeah, but I tell you what, jiu-jitsu can humble a person too.
Yes,
if I'm not correct. I mean,
without a doubt. Oh, without a doubt. I'm usually one of the smaller people on the mats and can usually run circles around people. People, when you walk into a gym, and I don't care if it's a fighting gym, rock climbing, swimming, like wherever you walk into, there's going to be somebody that looks pretty unassuming, and those are usually the ones you need to be concerned with.
That's right.
The very quiet people. Yeah.
Yes, and for me, any like workout type gym you go into, and there's an older gentleman wearing jeans.
Yeah.
Like they're usually like that's the one.
Stay away
they
from
look like
that
they
guy.
don't have a care in the world. They're just hanging out. That's usually the one to watch out for.
Yeah. Agreed. Yeah, you can get like tied up in a knot real easy in jiu-jitsu. That's for sure. Samantha, what do you love?
Yeah, no doubt.
You love jiu-jitsu the most right now? Is that your thing? You're like Krav Maga, you want to break somebody's neck?
My coach is staring at me.
Okay.
Sure
Yes, I love jiu-jitsu.
You better say jiu-jitsu.
You don't have to like
you wait till
the
I
same
get you
thing
back on the
she
mat.
does.
Yeah.
Amber knows it has humbled me many, many times. It's a love-hate relationship for sure.
It is.
Yes, I'm a lover of Muay Thai and all things kickboxing and sparring.
Okay.
For sure.
All right. And Amber said, no, let's take it to the mat.
But I still show up for jiu-jitsu.
Oh, good.
See you tonight.
Good.
There you go.
That's
I
awesome.
better.
That's awesome. So, hey, we're getting ready to come up on a break. What we're going to do after the break, we're going to talk about why in the world fighting actually is healthy.
Right.
Let's talk about that when we come back. We're going to be listening to some of our sponsors who pay for this show. Isn't that awesome?
Absolutely.
We got some great sponsors.
We
Tilly
do.
Harley Davidson. I haven't mentioned Derek Tilly in a long time. So I'm going to say hey to Derek.
All right. Well, hello, Derek, and thank you for the sponsorship. You've been listening to Putting the Pieces Back Together.
Keep it right here. Putting the Pieces Back Together with John Gallina and Brad Borders will return after these messages on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Well, a dry day on the way, but a much cooler day on the way. It's kind of a shock to the system after our warmer start to the week. And we've got some sunshine back into the picture.
All right, we're back live? Oh, we're back live. Okay. I want to finish my story about Shoe and Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Please.
Will that be okay? All right. So, hey, if I send you a picture, can you put it up for everybody on Facebook? Email it to me. Oh, email it to you. I won't do that. I'll do that later. That's no big deal. So Shoe goes out on Facebook Marketplace and purchases 2 giant Kentucky Fried Chicken signs.
Why?
Yes, great question.
I'm glad you
Great
asked.
question. I think it just comes down to like stuff a guy can use.
Right.
Right.
Uh-huh.
And so we
Or
had to go.
accumulate.
We had to go get the signs, right, and put them in a giant trailer because they're 7 feet by 13 feet long. They're huge, right? There's 2 of them. We went over to this guy's house over across town and carried them out of his backyard and put them in Shoe's trailer. Well, when Shoe and Rob and I, whenever we would go and work on a job together, we would build a ramp or tear out a house or something when we were all, construction dudes here at Purple Heart Homes. After we got done, we would always take what we would call an album cover picture, right? And it's like if we had a fictional band, this would be our album cover. And it was like, usually a black and white picture of us sitting outside of some old crusty house or something. And they really did. They looked like album cover pictures. So Shoe said, we need to do another album cover picture with the Kentucky Fried Chicken sign. So we got it, and I did a long arm selfie. It was me and Shoe and Rob. And we took a picture of it, and I put it on social media, and I decided just to tell everybody that we had a new album coming out, and it was going to be called 11 Herbs and Spices, right? right? And so Ben Daniels here at the radio station took that picture and put some graphics on it, and it said 11 Herbs and Spices, like in red, right? Wow. And then down at the bottom, it had, you remember the parental advisory warnings on records? Yes. It was on there, and Shoe got that and has now made those into posters. Yeah.
Wow.
These are literal posters, and I'm going to have one on the wall of my office, thanks to Ben Daniels and his creative artwork. So that was pretty cool.
Impressive.
Did Devin just leave? Is he gone?
He had to walk out for a second.
Oh, is he okay?
Everything's good.
Everything's good. He is in full panic mode, but like nonstop.
I wouldn't call it panic mode.
His brain is always panicking.
He is scattered. He is scattered.
I mean,
this just enhances it.
Yeah, enhanced scatteredness. So I can see him out there on the phone. He looks very serious.
The steam is coming out of his ears.
So, yeah, and then I'm sure he's talking to his daughter. Yeah. So, okay. All right, cool. Hey, we were up, at one point, we were up to 21 live viewers on Facebook.
Really?
Which is nigh on a record for us. It really is. Yeah, it really is.
Very nice.
I mean, it's all Samantha.
It is the guest.
Samantha, come back every week.
Yeah.
You're our new guest
I'm
host.
sharing it to my 21 family members.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Devin, did you get you have your problem solved? Are they solved?
Are my problems solved?
Yes.
No, they are.
Okay.
They are better.
Oh, they are better. Okay. You don't have to exit hastily.
I don't have to exit hastily.
Are you more calm now and be able to remember people's names and?
You forgot
I can't remember my own name. Are you kidding me?
You said it wrong to start with. Don't just give it to Devin.
1 minute. 1 minute.
I love you, bud.
Look, you're not helping.
You probably helped Devin.
Okay.
His
Right.
speak.
So we had 21 Facebook listeners.
I saw
viewers.
that. Yeah.
That's pretty incredible.
And now we're down to 16. Yeah, I want to point out
that's because
that
you came back in.
No,
and
when I
30
left,
seconds.
we had
30
20
seconds.
something. And then when I come back, we only have 16. Clearly,
clearly,
they
it was
wanted
your
to see
exit.
me.
It was
Yeah,
your
they're like,
exit.
oh.
Devin's not on there. I'm out.
That's what I'm thinking. I mean, correlation is not causation, but.
Wow, that was
10 seconds.
All right, 10 seconds. All right.
5 seconds. Mic's off.
It's Putting the Pieces Back Together with John Gallina and Brad Borders on 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Hey, welcome back to Putting the Pieces Back Together, presented by Purple Heart Homes. You can find out more about us at phhusa.org if you like. If you like veterans, you might want to go there. If you like to help veterans, you can find out ways to do that. We do housing solutions all over the country in 47 states from Alaska to Puerto Rico. That sounded very professional.
Wow.
Huh?
Yeah.
Do
it's
not
almost
try this at home.
Like you've been doing this for a while.
Almost
You're
like
starting
I've
to,
been doing it for starting to get it.
Yeah, man.
It only took 2.5 years.
Yeah. 125 episodes.
Is that how many we've done?
Wow.
I don't.
It's more
pretty
than that.
close.
It's got to be more than that.
You know, I'll go back and do the count.
You know, remember the 100th episode, how special that was?
Yeah.
They made a cake for us.
Yeah. Well, they made a cake for us, and then I brought a very terrible looking cake.
You did. I remember that. I remember that.
Did you
That was
make
awesome.
it?
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yours was made
personally
out of
make it.
crayons.
Those are the best kind.
Hey, well, we are so glad that you tuned in, and we have our friend Samantha on the show. She's a Marine Corps veteran and a mom and a caregiver of other human beings, but she's not only that, but she's a fighter, and her coach Amber is here joining us via the Zoomage. From down in Gastonia, or as we used to call it back in the 70s, Battlestar Gastonia.
Nobody called it that.
Yes, they did. You were not alive, dear
now.
sir. You were not alive, dear sir, so I beg to differ. Go look it up. All right. And so we were talking about, before the break, we were talking about transition. You mentioned a really, really difficult time. You found this place called Fit to Fight. It's a gym in Gastonia. Do you have multiple locations, Amber, or just one?
Yep. We have a location in Charlotte and a location in Gastonia, Charlotte near Pineville, that myself and my husband, Brian Hoover, own. And then we actually have an affiliate network. It runs primarily up the East Coast, but we have gyms all over that are certified, teaching our programs and use our methodologies.
That is awesome.
Wow.
All right, I want you to stand by with that thought, because I love programming, love methodology, I love thinking about stuff like that. I look at stuff like that every single day of my life. It's not in combat sports, but it's in kettlebell lifting and stuff like that. But Samantha, please tell us, what is so healing about fighting someone?
Oh.
She had to pause for that one.
Just go ahead and get ready for the chokehold.
I don't think it's necessarily that I get to hit with everything I have on a heavy bag or sparring with someone. You know, when we spar in the gym, it is very controlled.
Yeah.
It's a safe environment.
You didn't have to fight Butch.
No, I did not have to fight Butch.
Good.
Although I fear for my life when I fight Amber. She yells at me. It's all good.
You just have to hold me
criticism.
away.
I know. That's what.
Oh, you got the reach on
me.
her.
Yes, I got to learn how to use these long things I got. But no, it's the discipline, and I like being humbled. And jiu-jitsu will do that. Jiu-jitsu does that for me.
Yeah,
makes me feel stupid. And that's why I keep coming back. It's an unhealthy relationship. No, it's you know, I went through a period of being very angry, probably the first year.
Yeah.
And
I bet you were angry at a lot of different things.
A lot of different things.
Yeah.
Mostly myself. And, you know, I'm very hard on myself. I think that's the Marine mentality. And once I learned that I cannot bring my Marine Corps mentality into a training facility, or even just those life skills, you know, that I had to really learn to adjust. I think that's when the light bulb started going off for me.
You have to relearn how to act, how to behave.
Absolutely. Yeah. And, you know, rediscover who I was.
Did you notice, so if anger was a defining emotion post impact,
yes,
so to say, since you've been training with Amber and her crew,
yes,
has the anger gone down?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So on a scale of 1 to 10, let's say you were at a 10 before, where are you at now?
I feel on most good days, I'm at a 0 to 1.
Oh, no kidding.
Well, that's
Yes.
awesome.
That is super cool.
And I have more good days than bad days.
Yeah, that is amazing.
And it's the family network there.
Yeah.
You know, the
Community.
the accountability
Yeah.
that they hold. You know, if I don't show up to the gym
Yeah, somebody's calling you.
for a few days at a time, Amber will hunt me
Like,
down.
hey, girl, where you at?
Yeah.
Where you been?
Did you die?
What are you doing? Yeah. You okay? Yeah.
Yep.
Man, I need that
Yeah.
Amber.
Better
Oh,
say
wait,
yes.
I've got
Yes.
one. She just doesn't try to get me to go to the gym. It's
And even
Don't
if
worry.
I try to skip out of a last class like jujitsu, she'd
Yeah.
be like, I don't know where you're going.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah. So, Amber, with your methodology and programming, do y'all? I mean, when you got into this, did you realize the kind of effects that this type of training and the community that you're building were going to have the kind of effect that it's had on Samantha? Did you know that?
Absolutely not. This was what I would have thought would be kind of a temporary thing. I had done martial arts most of my life. I was a kid teaching adults kind of thing. And, then I started really forming into my own self and teaching. And I went off to college and I thought, okay, life starts, I get a career. And, flash forward a few months of sitting behind a desk and I'm like, okay, I need to do something. And I started back training and then part-time teaching. And I was like, all right, well, I guess this is life. I'll deal with my 8 to 5, 7 to 6, 7 to 7. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But then I get my fun time at the end. And so when I did make the jump, it was very much for me. I was like, this is going to be great. I'm going to be active all the time. I'm doing things I love, which I thought was very black and white. I go to the gym, I teach the classes to the people. This is what I enjoy. And I go home and go to bed and do it the next day. But what the transformative nature of what we do, of how we do it, of the people we do it with is overwhelming when you stop and think about it, truly.
That's awesome.
And I definitely couldn't have imagined making the impact that hopefully I have and that we have on different people in this journey, myself included. I've been the person on a heavy bag hitting as hard as I can because I'm angry. I've been the person on the heavy bag hitting as hard as I can because it's the best day of my life. I'm overjoyed. I just quit that 9 to 5. And both of those people are me, but that energy is from a different place. And it's good to understand who you are and see how it manifests and unfold within these walls.
That is super cool. We have a caller that may be familiar on the line. Let's go ahead with that.
Hey.
Hey, go ahead, caller. Who we got on the line?
Hello, this is Matthew Challenger.
Hey, Matt.
Huh. Do you know him?
We do indeed.
This is Matt, right?
My goodness, now that's a welcome right there.
This is Matt, correct?
Yes, this is Matt.
And tell us about Matt. Matt, tell us who you are and why you're on this call.
I got invited in with Sam, and it's a passionate thing for me that she's working on as well. I too part of Fit to Fight and been coaching there. I think it's around 10 years or so.
Mm-hmm. Matt's also a veteran.
Oh, nice.
Army veteran.
Way to go, Matt.
Yeah, we can't all be Marines,
Matt,
but thank you for your service, Matt.
Matt.
Right on, Devil Dog.
Matt, what was your MOS in the Army?
62 Echo, heavy machinery operator and engineer.
Yeah, you were wrestling with motors. Now you're wrestling with people. I love it.
Hoorah. Yeah, that's what I
fantastic.
did. Just different branch.
That's awesome. So we got about...
That's right. It's all similar.
That's right.
That's good, man. Hey, Matt, we got about a minute to break. Can you hang on until we get done with our commercial break? Would that be cool?
Yes, sir.
All right, thanks, man. Hang on the line. We're joined by Matt and Amber and Samantha from Fit to Fight in Gastonia and in Charlotte, and then a network of gyms all up and down the Eastern Seaboard. How do people find out more about Fit to Fight, Amber?
Yeah, head to fittofight.com. You can see our programs, information about our affiliates and our network. If you want specific help on where to find training or classes or seminars, you can email me, Amber, at fittofight.com.
That's beautiful.
Awesome.
That was a great segue.
Wow,
We're going to
yeah.
hear from some more of our sponsors that keep us on the air. Dr. Grant Campbell, we're going to throw a shout out to him. Thank you, sir, for keeping us on the air. You're listening live to Putting the Pieces Back Together, presented by Purple Heart Homes. Come on back. We're going to finish it out.
Putting the Pieces Back Together. We'll be back with more of John Gallina and Brad Borders after these messages from 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Here's your double.
Hello. Hey, Matt,
Yes, sir.
can you hear us?
Yeah, you're muffled, but I can.
All right. Well, that's because they turned down my mic real low.
I wonder why.
I'm
Very
gonna break
soft-spoken.
all of them. But what we're here now. We're live on like Facebook, YouTube, X, or Twitter, whatever you want to call it. And so this is the portion of the show where we just kind of pitter around and do a little more lighthearted, a little more fun.
Oh, that's right up his alley.
What's that?
That's right up his alley.
Oh yeah. Hey, so you got
Oh yeah.
Lighthearted fun.
So since we're in that segment, you got an interesting story, maybe not be radio friendly. You know.
Oh, geez, don't get me started.
Well, I got to because we only got like 2 minutes, so you gotta do it quick.
1 minute, 30 seconds.
No pressure.
I'll try and make it short and sweet. When I got and was lucky enough to found Fit to Fight, it was a thing for me to kind of channel energy and downtime. I'll just say, it's helped me in mentally and physically. I'd be an alcoholic if I wasn't training with that downtime. And I know we all battle with things. And for me, it's in the line of work I'm in, construction and run jobs, and it's high stress, fast paced, all that good stuff. And it's a way for me to get in there with some awesome people. I'm just so thankful to be around them and the family that we have there. And it just helps me cleanse my mind, and we train
30 seconds.
self-defense. We work hard. We have fun. There's no ego. And it's kind of a zen for me to
That's
get
really
away and put all the work and all the other life tribulations just kind of behind for a while, and it just
10 seconds.
yeah, it's
All right. Hey, Matt, we're going back live here, buddy. We'll pick back up with that.
5
here in just a
seconds,
second.
mic's off.
Thank you, bud.
Putting the Pieces Back Together continues now. Here are your hosts, John Gallina and Brad Borders on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Welcome back to Putting the Pieces Back Together, presented by Purple Heart Homes. You can find out more about Purple Heart Homes at phhusa.org. And before we get back to our caller and our guests, just want to let everybody know that we've got a golf tournament coming up at the 500 Club, April 19th.
Yep.
And sign-ups are out there. We'd love to have you. And if you want to support us before that, they're also going to be doing 10% of all proceeds on the 13th. You come out to the 500 Club, eat dinner, have some drinks, and we'd really love to have you out there if you're in the area.
Well, there's something even before that.
Well, tell me.
Starting tomorrow is our 31-day Walk a Mile a Day Challenge on Facebook. So if you're on Facebook, if you will go to either the Purple Heart Homes page, or if you go into the comments on Facebook that on our live feed, I've put a couple of links in there that you can sign up to be a fundraiser for the next month. You can get outside, walk a mile or more, get a little healthier, get you some vitamin D, walk with someone you love.
Oh, isn't that
And my walking
sweet?
partner's in the house with me. We're going to walk together. I'm so excited about that. So that's going to be really cool. So you can take part of that. There's a lot of people from all over the country doing that. This is our first attempt at doing one of these types of things. So we're really excited about it. It's the 31-day challenge presented by Purple Heart Homes, and you can find out more about that on Facebook.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, that's awesome. Hey, Matt, right during the break, you were talking about how without Fit to Fight, that you really didn't have a lot of alternatives except for maybe self-medicating and those sort of things, and how this was an outlet that you could use instead of those sort of. I lost my thought there. It
Yes,
was
you did.
terrible. Well,
Yeah.
why do you let me on the show?
I don't know. I don't know.
But
We're doing great.
help me out there, Matt. Let's continue down that path.
Right on. Yeah, you nailed it on the head. It was a way for me to get back in and do other things besides self-medicating and alcohol and all that good stuff. It's work and life can tend to kind of take us over, and you just get beat down and all of that stuff. I always enjoyed martial arts, but I came to a point in my life, like I'm about 40 years old, and I was like, I need to get back into this. And I hunted and found a wonderful place in Fit to Fight, and they were welcoming and learned so much, always learning. And for me, it's a place to go to kind of cleanse my mind, to train, self-defense, to teach, to help others learn everything that I've learned over the years. And it's, again, kind of a place of Zen, helps me cleanse my mind from all the tribulations of daily life, and the people there and the family that I've grown to know and love so much. It's just very welcome. The ego, it's not there. It gets left at the door. A bad day, you might have an awful day, and my training partners and students there, they know I'll come in and hair's ruffled and wild-eyed, and they're like, ooh, you had a day.
Yeah.
You had a day, didn't you?
And then everybody's like, yeah, let's fight Matt today.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No.
I got some head shakes here.
We do our best to leave it at the door, and I've told them many times, none of you guys deserve this ink. You don't deserve it.
That's great, Matt. Man, we appreciate you calling in today, and I know these guys think a lot of you and speak highly of you, and really thankful that there's a place like Fit to Fight for folks. Amber, will you please, how many veterans do you have in the gym? Do you know?
Wow, I don't know. And honestly, I learn more and more about who's a veteran. We don't necessarily survey people as they walk in. We let them give us the information they're comfortable giving us. And then it's our job as coaches and instructors to put the pieces together as we, watch their body language and how they interact with other students and coaches and with themselves within classes and things like that. We're not therapists or anything like that. We just want to help people live safer, healthier lives. And that looks different for everybody. So we do our best within these walls to make it a safe, comforting environment for them where, maybe it's just getting a workout in and getting a good sweat in. Maybe it's learning physical skills to keep them out of bad altercations, that sort of thing.
Yep.
And that's what we do as we learn about these people.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Samantha, anything to add to that?
Yes. I think I will add too that there's a great initiative that Amber, if you can speak on really quick, the women's self-defense portion and her kids program.
Yeah. Tell us about that, Amber.
Oh, yeah. Two big ones. So, what we do in here is terrifying to most people. It's daunting. It's intimidating. Most brand new things are, but then couple it with the fact that there's so much in-person contact and you're so close to people. It's difficult. It's unsettling. And so especially for the group of people who are more likely to need what we offer, such as women, it's really hard to get in the door and take that first step. Yeah. One, just being a female in an instructor position and being able to set an example that way has been, it's great. It's not something I take lightly. I feel like that's an important part of what I do and why I do it. And then, we offer programs, things like College Bound that we're running this summer. It's an 8-week training course. This one isn't going to be women specific, but it's more focused on bringing beginners into the fold who are uncomfortable getting started. Everybody is starting on the same page together. Day one, we're going to build you up, ground up. And we've run that type of program women's only before as well. And it's not that the program changes whether it's women's or co-ed or whatever it is. It's just about the group of people and the environment that you're around while you're learning these basic self-defense things.
That is awesome. Yeah.
Absolutely. And then as far as the kids program, I'm building a midget army. I how are you? They're pretty awesome.
You can hear them in the background.
Oh man, that's funny.
I remember the one Seinfeld episode where Kramer had come in and proclaimed that he was top in his class. And it turned out he was sparring with 7-year-olds.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's
right. Yeah. I got my katra. Right. It's hilarious, man. It's so good. You're sparring with 7-year-olds. Yeah, and I'm dominating. Right. So Sam, do you have? We've had Matt on the phone, got Amber on the phone. They're both coaches at Fit to Fight. Do you have like eyeballs? I mean, you're an instructor, right? I mean,
yes, I'm a new instructor.
You're a new instructor now?
Yes, I'm a new Fit to Fight coach, and had the pleasure of training under Amber and Matt.
Yeah,
and a big part of who I am today, and in Fit to Fight and how I fit in the family.
Yeah.
And it's just been a pleasure to know them and work with them and develop the relationships that we have.
So
in the
you've
gym.
already started coaching people. That's already happened.
I have started. Yes.
Now, when did this take place?
What did you say, Amber? In the last month or so?
Couple months.
Couple months.
So what was that first day like when you went from student to coach? What is that like nerve-wracking?
Like I want to throw
it was
up
like
the whole
being
time.
on the yellow footprints.
Yes.
Oh man.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You're like, God, I can't do this wrong.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
I told him to do that. I shouldn't have done that. Right?
Like,
stupid for me. Just
right.
yeah.
Yeah. So what's been the best part about that growth for you?
Getting to see people grow.
Yeah.
And just offering a little tool for them to put in their toolbox and watching them run with it.
Yeah.
And just the look on people's faces when they feel like their confidence is being built and they're taking away and they're starting to feel comfortable in the family and get to see them build relationships. That's the most rewarding part for me. And
so are you doing a Muay Thai coach or jiu-jitsu or all of the above?
It's kind of all, it's a self-defense based training facility,
Yeah,
so everything
mixed martial
blends
arts kind of deal.
so well. Yes.
Yeah.
But my heart and soul is in the Muay Thai and sparring, kickboxing.
Hadn't got quite to the knife fighting portion yet.
Absolutely. There is
some kendo.
There's some specific programming in there too.
Is there?
Yes.
Not with real knives. I'm hoping they're like wooden knives or.
Oh man, it'd
definitely
be so much
training.
cooler if it was real knives.
They make sparring knives that are like electrified.
Amber's shaking her head no as I said that.
We tried using real knives. Google reviews were just
It's too much cleanup at the end of the night. Yeah.
It was awful.
Get the mops out and the Clorox. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So they do have knives.
Yes.
They have electrified knives.
Samantha could both give them the wounds and
could.
fix
And then
them up
fix them.
afterwards.
I am a wound care nurse also, yes.
I will cut you and heal you.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you are looking for both a great training program and health care, come see Samantha.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Hey Amber, you having to go?
Yep, that midget army awaits.
Yes.
All right.
Amber.
Hey, thanks for
4 to
coming on.
7-year-old
You are now my second favorite Amber.
Yeah. Thanks, Amber. Appreciate it. Good luck today.
I'll see you tonight, Coach.
Thank you guys.
That's
See you, Sam.
fantastic.
Thank you all for what you do. Proud to be a part and help where we can.
That's
Thank you guys.
wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you. Matt still with us?
Yeah.
Oh,
awesome.
Good.
So I think Fit to Fight made a donation to Purple Heart Homes.
Yes.
That
Since
was
I've been
last.
training there, there's been
Yeah, there's been several donations that have come in,
Yes.
and I had emailed back and forth with Amber a little bit and thanked them for that. So that's really cool.
That's how I knew I was at the right place. Like when the first month of joining the facility, it was like, we're going to have a Purple Heart Homes
Yeah, that's super cool.
fundraiser.
Well,
Small world.
yeah, well, we got 30 seconds before we roll off. Samantha, thank you so much for being on. And Matt, thank you for calling in today. Thanks for both of y'all for your service to our country.
Thank
and for
you.
what you're doing for others right now, just through using combat sports to help people get better. So
And
we really
next
appreciate it.
week, we've got Montel Williams, so don't miss that episode.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, yeah.
Montel.
Montel.
Hey,
Gonna
have a
be
great weekend, everybody. God bless you.
You've been listening to Putting the Pieces Back Together, brought to you by Purple Heart Homes. Please consider making a donation to this worthwhile cause dedicated to improving the lives of veterans one home at a time by visiting purplehearthomesusa.org. Join us again next Thursday at 3 p.m. for Putting the Pieces Back Together on WSIC News Talk Now.
Serving you better than ever before. 105.9 100.7 WSIC, Statesville, Mooresville, North Charlotte.